Time to head to the fast lane with the Husker Sports Network's Lane Grindle. Spring football now in the books. The spring scrimmage is over with. What excites you about next fall for Nebraska football?
Well, I think there's a lot of things to be excited about, and I think the spring really advanced that feeling for me, and I think for a lot of Husker fans as well. I think everybody understood there's a lot of talent in this program. We saw a lot of that young talent in the fall of 2013. I'm probably the most excited about the development of the defense. I think that you're going to have really good depth on that defensive unit. I know a lot of people are talking about defensive end depth as maybe being somewhat of a concern, but I think Nebraska will be able to find some pieces there to be fine in that spot, and I think they're really deep in some of the other spots, which I think will make up for that as well. I just think this has a chance to be, if not the best, one of the 2 or 3 best defenses that Bo Pelini's had at Nebraska.
All right, let's switch to baseball. Christian De Leon has just been magnificent the last couple of weekends for the Big Red. Talk about his impact on this baseball team.
Well, he's an innings eater, and you hear that term a lot in baseball. It's a really big deal in college baseball on Friday nights, and that's what he's been for the Huskers. You know, you always hate to get into comparisons, but I really liken him to what Johnny Dorn was for the Huskers his senior year at Nebraska. He's not the most dominant pitcher in college baseball, but he's one of the most effective pitchers, and he's really been a guy that has set the table for Nebraska each weekend that they've gone into, except for last weekend when Nebraska moved it around a little bit because of his sickness, but even then he waits another day and he goes out and throws a complete game.
He's been a workhorse for this team. Okay, 1 month left in the regular season. Assess for us Nebraska's postseason chances.
Right now they're solidly in. I really believe that. The RPI is strong. It's in the upper 30s to mid 30s, just depending on the day. It moves all the time in college baseball, but the wins are solid enough that you would get in at large bid. So right now Nebraska is solidly in. Now the caveat to all of this is Nebraska doesn't have a lot of high RPI teams left on the schedule. So there aren't a ton of opportunities to improve your status, and there are some opportunities to hurt your status. So while Nebraska's solidly in, that doesn't mean you get to kick your feet up and relax. They have to play really good baseball down the stretch to make sure they keep that spot in the tournament.
Should be a good final month. That's Lane Grindle in the fast lane. When we come back, we will check out Nebraska Athletics' academic banquet. It took place last weekend.